We're back for part 4. My phone rang during the pause of part 3 and I had to cut it short. So we will just pick up with part 4 and get going. It's quite a bit later in the day. We did dinner and all that stuff. Focus isn't working. So we've got hostile tribes and drought. So really nothing too major. That'll mess us up. I think I'll let the enemy have their full APs, which is 3. 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 right here. And that'll be on top of the 6 that they got back from the peace action. So we'll get into flip and swap. And we will flip number 5. Not number 1, it's impossible, but number 5 we will flip. And we will get going. So we're going to do a raid of 3, which I can stop. No, I can't stop. Raid of 3. So the way we do this raid is, whoops, we're going to take these 3 and I don't know what's going on with my focus. Put them on the Santa Fe spot, and I think we do get a bonus this time. Last time there wasn't a bonus, and we do have a ferocity of 2, so they're going to get 2 more, and we will begin our raid. So we're going to put 1, and now a family may act or react, and I think what we'll do is we will have family C. It doesn't matter which one, as long as someone can reach it. We'll drop a harass token right here, and hopefully we'll show you why that works. Now the raid goes, and they reach our family. So we can do a couple things. We can freely evade, which we might do. We've got a reroll. We've got a couple options here. I think we were just going to go for the free evade. We could go for an ambush, which would wipe out all of the raid tokens if we win the battle. And we got firearms. We might be able to win a battle, but then that would render this harass token pointless. So I think we're going to go for the evade and see what happens. Let's do that. And so this is a free action evade 5. We have a +0 on there. So we're going to go to section 5. And now the raid is going to continue. It's only 3 rocks away, but it's 7, 12 movement points away. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 movement away. This guy is only 3 movement away, so they're going to come up this way. And since this has a harass token on it, it costs 2 to move there. And now I can do a reaction. I don't need to because there's only 1 left, and because this has corn on it, it costs 2 to move in. So this one is wasted. It doesn't do it any good to go anywhere. So in that case, we return it to the out of play box, and we conclude the raid. No family was placed in a caught box, so the enemy loses morale. They don't gain any morale because none was caught. They don't get a build action because these raids are within the Shiprock, and there's a family in Shiprock, and raids are within San Juan, and there's a family in San Juan, and we were encountered at least once, and that's all we need. So this raid was really a success for us. And that's all there is to it. So we'll continue with enemy AP. This is a peace marker, and we can afford it, but there's already a peace marker in the inactive column. So if that's the case, we flip it over and we conduct the action on the other side. So we're going to do a Comanche tribal raid and it's going to cost 3 AP. And the way we do this is bad. Tribal raid's tough. I'm really having a hard time with my focus. Is we count the number of families and we take that number of tribal raid tokens, and that's how many times we're going to have to work this out. And the way it works is we're just going to roll a die, and that's going to tell us the territory that is affected. So territory 6 is, we got lucky because we don't have a family in territory 6. So we're just going to keep going until we run out of tribal raid tokens, or we end up in a family. We end up in a territory with a family. So if we roll all 5s and 6s, that would be great. There's a 4. Okay, so now we're going to actually have to do the tribal raid. So because there's a family in the territory, what I can do is roll to evade. And I would definitely want to, because we want to get in as deep a position as we can in a tribal raid. So we're going to have to abandon this corn. So the first thing I'll do, and I do get a +2 evasion modifier. So we're going to evade, and we're going to see how we do. We get a 4 up to 6, which is as deep as we go. We can't get into Canyon de Chelly unless we roll a natural 6 or over a 6. We lose the corn marker. And so now that the family has evaded, we roll a die, and there's some modifiers. I need to look at the modifiers. We can subtract for removing stuff from, it's all right here. We can subtract for removing counters from the resources box. We have to add 1 if it's a Comanche. We're going to add 1 because we're in area 1. I really don't know why it's doing that. It's bugging me. In area 1, but then we subtract 1. So area 1 doesn't add a modifier because it's a -1. And then these are all Kit Carson. So we're going to add 1 because it's Comanche, and we're going to add 0 for space 1. It's always 1 less than the space. So we're going to add 1 to this roll. And if I roll equal to modified value equal to where the family is, then they are attacked. So I'd have to roll a 5 or a 6, or this family is not affected. Oh my gosh, now it's got to be in the box. I don't know if you've watched my old videos, you know that that's one of my rules. And it's a 2, plus 1 is a 3. So that means that this tribe raids these 3 zones or areas, and my family is beyond it. So that one is of no effect, and we've got 2 more to go. So we're going to roll for the third one, and that is in zone or territory 5, which we don't have a family in, and we've got 1 more bullet to dodge, and that is in territory 5. So we have escaped any damage that the Comanche might do. We don't need to worry about this because there's no families for them to attack. So that concludes Tribal Raid. At least we got to see it. I'm glad it was uneventful, because that one can be pretty painful, because they're hard. If you find yourself in the battle with them, they're hard to beat. And then we've got 2 AP left, and we can't build because that costs 3. So we are all done with enemy operations. We reset their display, and we get to do player operations. And I'm trying to figure out, what do I want to do? I'm going to pause. I'm going to give it a little bit of thought, or maybe planning. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay, we're back. I think I've decided to do a planning action. So we will begin the planning action. We age each of our elders, and I get 3 AP because I have 3 elders. And then we'll do elder actions. We'll do the least likely one to succeed. We'll do the Wisdom of the Ancient Ones trick, where we can turn a culture point into a military point, and it extends our lead on this game. And the other 2, I think we're going to go for AP points. So I'm just going to roll 2 dice, and we're going to go for 1 through 4, and these are both for AP. And we don't get any more AP. So that stinks, but okay, whatever. The women can spend on trade goods. They will not. The men, oh, I didn't give myself I got a man. So we get to put a man in here. The men, the reason that I was kind of interested in doing this is maybe to get rid of these darn Comanche, because they're going to move up next turn. And I don't know if I can dodge the bullet again. So I think we're going to spend some AP, and we're going to try to do tribal diplomacy. And the way that works is essentially we have to roll higher than a 6. It costs an AP to try. And each family or each man can try this, so I can try this 4 times. We're going to start with these guys. So I get to add the evasion modifier and trade goods. So since we're going to try a few times, we're not going to spend any trade goods. We need to roll a 6. So with the evasion modifier, I have to roll 4. And we got it right away. Let me double check that I get the evasion modifier. So it's here in the green box. +1 per trade counter spent plus X where it's the evasion modifier of the executing family, which is 2. And if the modified die roll is 6 or higher, the diplomacy is successful. So we did it on our first try, which is good. And so all we do is we roll a die, and one of these is going to replace this. And now it's going to happen anyway because of hostile tribes, but we might have bought a little bit of time. We didn't buy much. I was hoping to bury it a little bit deeper down here. But that's how tribal diplomacy works. So that was that. We don't need to do any more. We are going to reset cubes because of planning, and that is the end of player operations. We're having a hard time with focusing again. Must be because it's night and the light changed. Oh no. Anyway. Hostile tribes we know. So these two switch. So we didn't buy much with that tribal diplomacy. Maybe a little bit. And then we're going to suffer drought, I think. Yeah. So let's suffer some drought, and then we'll pause in 4. So territory 4 was going to suffer some drought. And that's all there is to this card. Okay, so we'll be back with the next turn. I'm going to count some cards and some ceremony cards and see where we are. Okay, we've done a little bit of assessing. I'd like to do a passage of time, but we've got a lot of mouths to feed, and I really want to get that cunning card fixed. Our elders are about to die, so I'd probably replace them all. I think that's what I'm leaning towards doing, but let's see what happens when we draw this card. This is the 16th card I counted. And this is the 5th ceremony card. So we're going to remove any one animal from play. It's a good 2 for a raid, and we got a raid come in. We got Comanche. I might keep it, but I'd hate to lose sheep when we're going to try to feed. So there's a big risk. So that's the 5th one, the 16th card. 4 of them is a 3rd, and 15 cards is a 3rd. So we are right on par with the spread of cards. Oh, I don't think it's worth it. I'm not gonna. It's another mouth to feed at the risk of at the risk of losing a food source. I guess I could lose a horse. Okay. So this one is preempt for 3, which I can afford. And that would give them 4, 7, 9. Oh. Versus one more to let them go first. 10. If I give them 10, they go first. And this is 8, 9, 10, 11. So the Comanche won't go unless something flips and flops. They want me to plan, and we're going to flip and flop. I think I want to plan too, because it's elder, and we need to get some elders. We need to get some young elders pumping in here. So we are not going to preempt. We're going to let the enemy go first. So I think they get 5. Is that what we said? They get 5. 6, 7, 8. AP. And I just grabbed his stack. So that's 5. 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's flip and switch. Oh, it's always interesting when you roll doubles because it changes the status of the game. And we are definitely nighttime because we're getting glare. So this will be my last video. These two switch. We got slave takers coming in. Okay, so we're going to spend 3 on a build operation. It'll just give me something to do. Except my family's far away. This is where it starts to get a little tough. And we're going to spend 5 on a raid. 4, 5 on a raid. So let's see if they get any bonuses. Yeah, I already see it. 2. Get 2 more. So I grab those from out of play, and at least we have, goodness gracious, this whole one-handed thing, and the fact that I try to be as neat as I can is a problem. Okay, so it's time to raid. We got a raid of 7 coming, and let's just kick it off. So they're going to go 1, and now we can react. I can drop a harass here. I don't know if it'll do me any good. I got 3 AP, so we can do a little counting. They've got a raid, what do we say, of 7? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can get them such that they only hit my C once, or we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after that, they wouldn't go this way because they're nice and deep. They wouldn't go, oh, they might. No, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 versus 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 9 away. Oh, no. They would go after him. So I think we only need to harass 1 time. And it would be the same effect, only family C gets hit. So we're going to harass with 1 AP. And we're going to harass here. And so then the enemy goes, and it costs them 2. And then we can react, and we're not going to. And then the enemy goes, and the enemy can go 2 different ways. So they go the shortest path. This is 3, 7, 12 versus 3 versus 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. So they're going to go this way. And then they're going to go 2 into here because there's corn. And we're going to take the free evasion roll. Actually, we might not. Let's just play it safe and take this 3 because we can spend it on an evasion. So they're going to jump to 5 because 3 plus 2 is 5. And this corn goes. back in, and then they have, should be one left. They'll spend it to go here, and we have avoided the raid. They don't gain any morales, they don't gain any buildings, because each section's got a family in it. A family was encountered, so they don't get a free build. All they get out of that is a lost morale, and it is the end of the raid. So that's, raids can be a good thing, truthfully. We got a lot of cleaning up to do up there. The harass token goes. And that's that. 2 with 3 to spend, and we got those darn Comanches up top again. We've given them every opportunity to flip and switch. Did I just flip that over? No. I thought maybe when I poked it with my finger, I flipped it over. Okay, it is time for player operations, and we're going to do planning, because then we can peek at the next 3, and we wanted this elder. So we're going to do planning. We're going to get an elder per the card, and this will probably be the last thing I do. This nighttime focus isn't working, and the glare is pretty bad. These guys all age, so these guys are totally old, and I get 3 AP. And then they get to do their thing. I don't know. I can, so let's go ahead and do it. Does it make a difference? 8 minus 1 is 7. And I would have them at 0. And I wouldn't advance because I don't advance past 7. I don't need to do it, so I'm not going to do it. We're going to decrease Frosty. Yes, let's decrease Frosty. So we're going to take a shot at decreasing this Frosty with this 1 through 4. And we succeed. So these guys get a Frosty reduction. Now I can't do it twice because we can only influence the Frosty of a family once. So these 2 guys really have nothing to do. So we're going to go for AP 1 through 5. I get 2 rolls, so we'll just do it at the same time. And we get 2 more AP. So we're up to 7 AP. And let's do this. Let's spend our trade goods on a sheep. Let's purchase 3 trade goods. And then let's do a tribal diplomacy. They were lucky last time, so we need to roll a 4 because they got a +2 evasion modifier. Black die, they failed. That costs an AP. Let's try again. Let's try with these guys. Cost an AP. And they fail. So now we have to decide, do we want to spend our last AP and our trade goods, or do we just face them down? We do get the shaman action. So let's try it. We're going to spend our last AP. We're going to spend our trade goods. And we're going to try to send these. I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I want my trade goods. We've got rerolls. We got rerolls here. We got rerolls here. We got fire. We're okay. Famous last words. Okay, so that is the end. Oh, and then we reset cubes. And we'll do that. We got all this cleanup to do. I got cleanup to do everywhere. Okay, and then we get to do our 3-card planning. We got trappers and traders, which is an intruder. Trappers and traders. And Apache War in the West. This is a good way to score. So we want that to happen. Although, we do need to get them to 0. So we'll put the trappers and traders underneath it. We'll get this one fired, and that gives us time, because I don't know where the scoring is. So that was the shaman. And then the last thing we'll do, and we'll cut this, is instructions are going to swap places. So maybe we succeeded that diplomacy in a different way. 5. Oh, are the slaves gone? Gosh, I can't see. No, the slaves moved up. This raid and this raid swap. All right, discard. And that is the end. We need to do a passage of time pretty badly. This next card is setting up for us to do a passage of time in the future. We'll kind of see how all that works in play 5, I suppose. We need to do a passage of time to get this done. I think we need to get these guys closer so that we can end these. They're all buried deep, and it's hard to be buried deep because you can't take care of these missions, and that I really think that's the key, at least to the Spanish era, the Mexican era and the Spanish era. To get rid of the ranchos is huge, but they're a lot harder to deal with because they pop up more frequently. Anyway, enough of the ramble. I will see you guys tomorrow, and hopefully we can conclude at least the Mexican era. No, Spanish era. This is the Spanish era. Whatever. Peace.